131 bandits, I'll take that.
See, I just got slaver chiefs and just instantly always had an army. And massive income, because every single battle would end with everyone on the other side being knocked out and turned into slaves, which I then would sell. Or recruit, and turn into more slaver chiefs.
What is wrong with you?
Hey! I was a
sneaky.
strong, independent woman! And I had to make my own kingdom, because no one would take me as a lord.
I mean, that's why you just get your own castle.
Yeah, I had to take it from someone. And they were allied with someone, and other people didn't like a woman being chief, and so then they declared war on me, and so eventually I stopped trying to actually play the game using strategies and tactics, and just started spamming elephants like the Persians did.
How did you get elephants?
Slaver chiefs.
Oh. Come here, you. I just finished destroying 130-something bandit party. You think I'm afraid of you?
Alright.
Come here, you. I just finished destroying 130-something bandit party. You think I'm
Alright,
afraid
audio
of you?
testing, 1, 2.
Scared.
Testing,
testing,
testing, 1, 2, 3.
Alright, I'm coming in nice and fine, Axe is coming in fine, and Atin is coming in A-okay.
1, 2, 3.
Cool.
Alright,
This is annoying. Discord is just taking the piss out of my mic. I can't believe I had to resort to my audio, to my virtual cables for this. This is ridiculous.
Indeed, indeed.
I don't know who to blame in this case either.
Blame everyone. It's clearly Atin's fault.
What? What? No! No!
No, and see the point at where
Alright.
he's not here to defend himself.
Pop up. The real Zangetsu. And
Oh, we're going back to that?
and the Weeb.
It's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
Also, what is the weed? That was last week's.
That
I
was
saw it in
last
the
week's
coloring
story
chat,
that
but
we covered, and it was a Harry Potter story because you weren't here. And
the only one you covered out of curiosity?
no, it was one of the many we covered. We had yesterday last week we had our recommendation fic of the month where I recommend a good fic. We had Weeb, which we thought was going to be trash, and then actually
Turned
wasn't.
out to be great.
Turns out
Like,
this author is fucking hilarious.
I went and read all 17 chapters of it.
I went and read the rest of his stories, and it was great.
Nice.
And then we had we forced ourselves to find a shit fic to finish off the day because we couldn't have all positivity.
Yeah, we're
But
like,
anyway.
this is the Friday show. There can't be happiness.
Anyway, since our audio's working and everything appears to be streaming quality A-okay, hello Internet and welcome to Fanfiction Mock Theater 9000. I am your host, SneakyDevil, joined by Atin and Maxforce, who will be contributing what little they can.
Excuse me, I resent that. I contribute a hell of a lot more than Max. It's because Max is a consultant.
Today, as it is always on Tuesdays, we will be reviewing previously talked about fics that we enjoyed and wanted to read again, or things that were just so much of a shitfest we couldn't help but laugh at it a second time. Unfortunately, we don't have any of the second of those, but we do have some of the first. Once we're done with those, if we have any time left, we will be continuing on to our normally scheduled broadcast of just finding more crap to laugh at. So, today we're going to start off with Real Zangetsu, which is a Bleach story in which we covered a while back, actually.
I was gonna say, it was quite
at
a while
least
ago.
A month at this point. In which, if you need a reminder, Ichigo meets the real Zangetsu early on, and instead of his Quincy powers, acting like he was the real one. And things spiral out of control from there, and power creep is now blown out of the water, because they're planning on turning the hollow inside him into some sort of power battery. So yeah. And apparently, whenever he tries to learn something, he learns it 4 times as quickly because each part of his soul is learning it or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll be
Well, no,
posting
no,
it in the
I
chat.
understand it. It's not that he learns it 4 times as quickly. It's that he gets theoretically the idea is that
So
he gets
everything can
or
be
4 times
followed along.
stronger because every part of him is learning it.
No, it was quicker. I believe he was learning everything quicker.
Hmm.
I thought he was getting. I'm with that, and I thought it was he grew. He grew 4 times stronger, not faster. Well, I guess argue it's the same either way, but
Yeah.
everything was 4 times as effective.
No,
Regardless,
no,
whether it's
he wasn't getting four. He was getting spiritually stronger by siphoning from the hollow, but he was learning things 4 times quicker because each part of his soul was aware of what he was learning.
Hmm.
And then that was feeding back into him, making him do it better.
Yeah, I was gonna say, regardless of how they're doing it though, power creep blown out of the water.
This is like beyond DBZ levels of power creep. Anyway, I've had my water. I've snorted my cocaine. Let's begin.
It's just pixie dust.
It's just pixie dust, mate. It's just pixie dust.
No, it's cocaine. We know you too well.
Oh, and he doesn't. It can't be anything but pixie dust. He's trying to make himself feel better.
You know, gotta crush up them pixies.
I was gonna say he misses the cocaine.
So, this is the Shiba Mansion? Indeed it is, Ichigo-chan. Silence. 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 Why the hell does it have stone arms holding up a banner? Ichigo asked in confusion. He figured that the Shiba family would be trying to hide and not literally have a sign saying where they were. Well,
Why would they be
Ichigo-
trying to hide?
The fact that
It's been so long since I watched the show. Why would they be trying to hide?
Shiba family is the only known key into the Soul King's realm.
Oh, right,
also
right.
outcasts among Soul Society for some convoluted reason.
I was gonna say plot reason.
Yeah.
I don't think we're actually plot reasons. Now we're exiled. Why though? Hey, look, a star.
Yeah.
Or in the case of Shokaku, I believe it was,
Kukaku
hey
has
look,
a taste
boobs.
for uniqueness, I suppose. A black cat responded to Ichigo's question as the cat was perched upon Ichigo's left shoulder. Ichigo
Okay,
chuckled at the wording.
You don't have to tell us it's a black cat.
Ichi.
We know it's Yodoichi.
I mean, whatever. They don't have to say Ichigo 4 times in a fucking sentence, though.
Yeah.
We understand it's Ichigo. I believe this was one of our comments from the last time as well.
Yeah, I think it was.
Well, Ichigo, well, you suppose. Hell, I thought my dad was unique, but I suppose, but it's looking like this Kukaku.
I was gonna say, Ichigo, your dad is not unique. Your dad is a dangerous, obsessive maniac.
Ah, yes.
Who keeps
Max's favorite part of this is the guy he puts periods after the quotation marks instead of before. Careful, Ichigo-chan. I wouldn't recommend saying that to Kukaku's face. It could land you in quite a bit of trouble. Ichigo shrugged. Of course I wasn't going to say it to the guy's face. I'm not an idiot, Yoriichi. A scoff could be heard from behind Ichigo as he said that. And Ichigo whirled his head around to look at his fellow companions, Chad, Orihime, and Uru. What? I'm not an idiot. What makes you think I am? Please, Kurosaki, we wouldn't even have to be doing this if you hadn't knocked out the gatekeeper in the first place. Okay, so yeah, I was a bit confused as to why we were suddenly fucking here. Because
Now we know.
the chapter ended with Ichigo walking into the portal into Soul Society.
Yeah. I guess they decided they could skip that. Because...
Well, I guess they're like, we'll just skip ahead and then backtrack and tell the story as we're continuing to skip ahead?
No, I mean, to be fair, it's not like it was an important
I've
thing.
seen it done before, but
I don't
if
know.
you're gonna go for the butterfly effect of like, oh man, everything's different this time around because Ichigo is 4 times stronger.
No, but that's the thing. That's something that was the say, like he beats the gatekeeper.
Well, yeah.
I gotta say, personally though, I like that scene, because that's the first time he gets to meet Geen.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing, is he doesn't
Like-
beat the gatekeeper. He doesn't knock out the gatekeeper. He beats the gatekeeper, he doesn't knock the gatekeeper out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But
So-
they're saying butterfly effect occurred, but I'm not going to show you, I'm going to tell you about it. In a not flashback.
but okay.
Like, my point is, if you're gonna do, this is the canon, I am going to change the canon at the start and see where the butterfly effect goes with this. Don't then skip farther ahead and then tell you about what happened with the butterfly effect up until this point. Like, show it. If your story's based around butterfly effect, show the butterfly effect.
Okay, fair enough. But it's something that I can absolutely understand. It's a relatively minor scene.
No.
Not a lot happens in it. So, like, if the guy's like, I just don't want to write this, I could get that. I truly, because it's such a minor scene. And it's not like it's a minor scene, but there's some important plot development. There's not even that.
Yeah, but it's just like... I don't know, man.
No, because, I mean,
it just
one of the
feels
things
wrong.
we always get on people about
I know,
is
but it just feels
wasting
wrong.
time.
I know, but it just feels wrong to be like, oh, this story is going to be about the butterfly effect, and then you skip key points.
But that's what I'm saying. This wasn't a key point.
No, it was sort of. It introduces characters.
It introduces Geen, it introduces Geen, and it doesn't introduce him in an important or meaningful way. It's just like this guy's... It's just like this guy's name is Geen. You don't even see him do anything besides...
He kills the gatekeeper.
Did he really kill the gatekeeper?
Yes, the gatekeeper was like, oh yes, Ichigo, you have beaten me in honorable battle. I will let you in. And he goes to raise the gate, and then he gets stabbed through the heart by Geen, and dies.
Right.
Yeah, he does. That's right, because I think that was one of the moments Orihime was like, oh, I bet I can heal him, and
I don't think
Great.
Orihime learned to heal yet.
No, she did. She'd
No,
unlocked
wait,
all the
I'm
powers
sorry.
at that point, hadn't she?
I think she had the
I know for sure she
Okay.
had the little attack guy.
No, the little
Jidambo,
attack guy
that
was...
was-
something she needed to learn later, because she was reluctant to attack people.
Well, because like the first thing she learned was shield.
That's right. Okay. No, I thought that was wrong. No, Jidambo, the gatekeeper, killed, cut his fucking arm off.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
And Orihime, that was our first look at what Orihime could do, powers as far as healing was concerned.
Yeah.
Because before that was the weird octopus acid thing that knocked her power.
Yeah,
Oh, God, that was
that's
a
where she got the shield from.
I'm not gonna lie, out of all of... They're like, hey, here's what these people capable of Orihima's was the weird.
Yeah, no, hers was really...
Like, Uryu, it's like, I've got this magic bow. Okay, cool. We later find out that lots
I
of
have
people
a
have
magic
magic.
arm! Okay,
No, Chad's not
good
even.
for you,
No,
Chad.
no, that's not even what Chad has. He just punches really hard.
And then
That was originally what it
I was gonna
was.
say,
That
and then
was
later on we
originally what
find,
it was. I could just punch things.
and then later we find out it's a magic punch. And then we
Yeah.
later find out that that was the that was the training magic punch, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I'm not gonna lie. I loved that initial bout of where who was it? It was one of the intelligent hollows. I can't remember his fucking name. But when Chad actually punched him, he was like, "Wait, oh god, this guy can actually touch me," and he actually hurts.
Yeah.
Whoa!
And then there was Orihime, who was like, yes, the, hair...
Clips
and the hair clips that Ichigo gave me.
are people. They're tiny fairies.
Are tiny fairies now, and they can use their powers to turn back time and space. You
What?
fucking
I don't
what?
know.
No, that's her healing. Her healing is making her healing is Dark Souls style repair powder.
Yeah.
Well, if I just take the katana back to before it was a piece of crap, it'll
Yeah.
be fine.
And then we get explanations for how her powers work, and the shield are like, oh good, she's literally separating far worse than molecular level
Yeah.
part at the spiritual level. Why?
Yeah.
Why does she need that?
It's just like fucking. I'm sorry. What?
Like, I'm glad of all the people you made one of the sweetest characters in that show, but holy shit, that's a lot of pressure to put on her.
Hey, you can separate things at a molecular level. No big.
Just casually, so, don't lose your temper. Oh god.
Well, I mean, fucking
You might
Chad has
destroy the
arm
multiverse.
of death, or the arm of the devil, or whatever the dubs call it.
Isn't that what he did?
No, because it
So-
starts
So
off
he
with
starts off by having a normal, super-powered punch. And then he gets the arm of the giant when he realizes he needs to get stronger, and that's his black and red arm. And then when they're invading Puerto
I was
Okay.
gonna say,
Rico-
and he gets that first because he's like, I need to get stronger, I need to
Need to
protect
defend-
them,
yeah,
so
defend them.
shield arm comes first.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. By the way, it's the hairpins that her brother.
Okay, the brother, okay.
Wait, oh. Basically, Orihime's spirit energy kind of gave birth to life.
Oh, see, I thought...
Held within the hair.
No, I remember in the manga they were explaining it that it was due to the proximity to Ichigo that Chad and Orihime unlocked these powers.
Something Fullbringers.
Sure, why not?
But anyway. Regardless of that point. Yeah, no. It was in Hueco Mundo where he was losing against one of the Spada. And he was like, I have to fight them. And he was a flashback to his grandfather. And he's like, yeah, I can fight them. I can defeat the enemies by attacking to defend my allies or something.
I think it was I can defend my allies best by defeating the other enemy or something like
yeah,
that.
it was some loopy logic with attacking to defend.
Like, I get it. You're trying to be helpful. You're trying to give Chad a more offensive option. Cool. He was always one of the coolest, most underrated characters.
So he
I
gets
got
the
hit by-
OHKO option of Devil's Arm, or Devil's Sister, where they were...
The right arm of the giant was what he named.
Yeah, no, it was the right arm of the giant and the left arm of the devil. Because
Yeah.
I'll be honest. That
when
just
he
sounds
punches
kind of like.
things, a giant skull imprint appears wherever he punched.
I was gonna say. I'll be honest. Right arm of the giant, left arm of the devil. It sounds like a really awesome dual Dark Souls boss.
I guess so, yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, like again, I was like, cool. I always liked Chad because Chad didn't say anything. Chad just did things. I was like, wow, an anime character that doesn't spend 4 episodes in exposition on a fight. He only spends like 2.
Huh. That's weird. Apparently, Orihime's power is not quite as a full, but Chad's is for some reason.
Um,
I don't
and the
understand.
best part about that, Atin, is that Chad's exposition dumps that happen when he fights aren't even Chad saying things usually. It's like flashbacks to people saying things to Chad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Okay,
about.
so wait, you're telling me Orihime, not full brain, Chad's full brain. That
Not classified the same, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it was something that How much you want to bet that there was going to be a huge explanation in the final Quincy arc, but then because Shonen was like, "Hey, you got 3 this up," ended up not getting anything for it.
I mean, it would make like it was probably the least important thing.
Probably. You know what really bothers me actually? Like, I might get some hate for this, but Bleach was great through the Eisen arc. Got the full ring stuff. That was
No, that's what I'm
middling.
saying.
It's kind of
Like
meh.
up till the Eisen arc, I really enjoyed it. Like I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it up till the Eisen arc, and
Yeah.
after the Eisen arc, I was like, you know what? This is
The problem
It-
is with
for all
Bleach
intents
is
and purposes,
that
it
they
should
ended
be
the
done.
Eisen arc with such a sense of finality.
well, yeah. That's the thing. Like Eisen arc, because they make the big deal about if everybody's like Ichigo, if you do this, you're done. No more power. No more adventures.
Oh yeah.
And everybody's like, are you sure you want to do this, man? And he's like, I have to. He's like,
It's the only way I have to. It's the only way to surefire defeat him before he becomes too powerful. Blah blah blah.
although I do want to say, even before, like, honestly, I don't think he needed to do it. Like, we saw what was happening, remember? My strokes destroyed mountains. No, that was me blocking.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
now, as much as that scene did annoy me, I'm like, look, Ichigo, if your block is terrain altering, just punch him.
Yeah.
Like, you're on
Yeah,
such a whole nother level.
Probably good as
Just
chance by that point.
punch him.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did that extra reveal of, I am beyond you. I can't even sense your spiritual pressure anymore. He's like, no, that's
no,
because
because
I'm
remember,
beyond you.
there's a whole point where everyone's like, we can't even sense his spiritual pressure, and it's like, that's because I'm so much stronger than you.
I know, but I'm saying they had Eisen do the whole, I can't even sense your spiritual pressure anymore. I'm so far beyond you, and he does the whole, no, actually, it's the other way around.
But yeah, no, going up to the Eisen arc, fantastic writing. You had the Fullbring stuff that was very slow and
I mean, like, I liked
It
the
was
antagonist in the Fullbring arc. I thought the whole thing was stupid because it was just like, oh, after basically saying the end, Ichigo lost his powers, and the day was saved, we're gonna continue the problem.
but once we started getting
Like, I liked the antagonist of the Fullbring arc. Don't get me wrong. I liked the bad guys. I liked how they set it up. I disliked that it
character
came
designs
after
were
the
pretty
Eisen arc.
interesting. Character designs were pretty interesting too.
Yeah.
But we got to the Soul King arc and all that. It started getting interesting. Like it had a few slow points, but for the most part, it felt like the writing had improved again. And I was actually like, okay, you know what, I want to see how this resolves. And you just got a 1 month deadline, didn't you?
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I
It-
had to go because my father made a pun that made me violently upset.
Cool. No, see, like, again, I kept reading past the Fullbring arc. I read up until, like, Ichigo started training with the Soul King's team. The Squad Zero.
Yeah,
guy.
which
Like, that's
that
where I
was-
stopped reading it. Not because I
that
was
was
like,
cut.
oh, I can't read this anymore. That's just because I got distracted by other shit and just never came back.
Oh, yeah, no, like it started getting better with the Stark, and then again, like, oh hey, 3-week dead. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
like I said, for
that's-
me, I got through the Eisen arc, and I was like, this is a good ending. I was like, it's done now, right? Like, clearly, that's it. We're done. And they're like, no, there's still more. And I was like, there's more? Well, I mean, I guess I do want to find out what happens to him after, so, and then I go through the Fullbringer arc, and I'm like, this is strange and weird and interesting. Also, I want to say, the second stage of his Fullbring power was probably the coolest power his powers have ever looked.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, okay, we're in awesome town. We're in the coolest it's ever looked. That's it. That's gotta be it, right? And then they're like, here's phase 3. I'm like, this is lame. This is lame compared to an ethereal ghost sword made out of black fire.
Yeah. Honestly, I think my biggest gripe with Post Eisen was all of the people, all of the captains coming together and the sub-captains being like, Ichigo, we give you our energy!
Oh, I was like, really? So apparently, all they had to do to undo losing all of his power was just have everybody give him a little bit.
Yeah. Apparently that somehow fixes it, even though, like, that doesn't work ever normally.
Like...
Also, I really call into question some of the decisions made by the characters where they're like, oh yeah, we just didn't talk to him anymore that much, so we didn't have to expose him to
the danger,
the dangers of hollow hunting that still existed, and it's just like, so basically what you're saying is after he loses his powers, he also loses his friends, making him go, well, basically they were only around for my powers then, I guess.
Yeah, like... Good job, guys. Good job. But, like, yeah. And like, the way they explained it, they're like, oh, we just needed to give you our energy and it would get you back up there. I'm like, so you all sacrificed a small portion of your power to bring his back? That's bold. How
did you even come up with that theory? Like, wasn't this like a Shiba clan tradition to know this final Getsuga Tenshu style? And, like, it was guaranteed to forcibly kill you / remove your spiritual power forever?
Like, if it had been a case of, like, oh, it's a battery with zero, it's like a phone with literally zero charge.
Oh, it will, like, rend your soul and you'll never be able to recuperate the spiritual pressure you lose using this move. I would have been like, oh, okay, so he's, like, gonna be permanently weaker now.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, and using this will basically drain you to nothing if it doesn't kill you. Like, if it doesn't kill you, you'll just be a person.
Yeah. And they're like...
And then if they come along and they're like, oh, well, we thought about it, and it's like a battery. It's like a phone that's dead. You just need to give it a really big charge to get it back to the point where it can fix itself. I'd have been like, oh, perfect. That makes total sense.
Yeah, no, but the way they delivered it, they made it sound like it was a final thing, which is why the Eisen arc felt so final. Ichigo gave up all of his power to deal the final blow to Eisen.
Which wasn't even the final blow.
Yeah, which wasn't even the final blow, but it ended everything. Ichigo doesn't have his powers anymore. All the progress he made due to Eisen is now gone because of Eisen. He gave it all up to end Eisen. It's over. He's just a student at high school again.
And like again,
the way they set it up made it sound like the end. He married Orihime in the epilogue, and they had 10.3 kids.
Yeah, and proceeded to live the Japanese dream, which is cowering in fear of the American dream and bombs. Anyway, now that I've said that and killed everything, abandoned thread.
Abandoned thread, indeed. Let's get back to the story. That's right. Here on Fanfiction Mock Theater, we rarely ever actually read stories. Instead, we go on long, unending rants.
Because we're trying not to think about it.
Anyway, back
John.
to the story.
Trying to fuck happened. Ichigo's training.
Yeah.
His fucking Bankai was unique in that it compressed all of his spirit instead of exerting it like most others. So by that point, it's not even a matter of his spiritual power also overcoming everyone else. It was also all compressed into his body and the blade.
Mm-hmm.
Like the sheer amount of change went through in the bullshit space-time chamber that they going.
Yeah. I did like how they're just
actually-
like, oh yeah, we got a hyperbolic time chamber. It's not a hyperbolic time chamber. This is just a hyperbolic time chamber. No, it's not. TM.
I'll admit, I thought it was interesting because unlike chamber, it had a much worse consequence if you didn't get
fail.
out in time, which was, death. Like, not even reincarnation. You're gone.
But see, like, I like that. Like, I was like, oh, cool. It helps bring a sense of gravitas to the trick. Like, succeed or die. Oh, well, I guess we've turned this up to 11 now, then,
it
haven't
wasn't even
we?
like it's succeed or die. It was like succeed or die, and when you succeed, you're going to give up all of your power to deal one final blow or die.
Just like, thanks, Dad. You're
And then if you do that, it's like a fucking branch where all the alternative options are die.
It's the
Succeed
flowchart.
training, die. Fight Aizen and use up all of your power, die. Live through using up all of your power, you're powerless, die.
I was gonna say, I did like that though. It's one of those flowcharts you see online, but every second option is die, die,
It
die,
all
die,
leads
die,
back
die,
to die. And then the
you know,
final option leads back to die, because now he's just a normal human again.
Yeah.
So he dies.
I was gonna say, the other thing that made me annoyed, it was like, okay, so you've set up this super cool, big, awesome thing.
Yep.
And it doesn't even do anything at the end. In the end, you have to Deus Ex it with Kisuke.
Yep.
Which I was fine with, because it had been well established that Kisuke was a living Deus Ex.
Yeah.
But he's just like, yeah, I just invented this super new, super powerful thing specifically to bind you. So why don't you use that on any of the 6,000 other problems that you're facing?
Yeah.
Like, if it's powerful enough to bind, if not God...
A literal god!
Yeah, like, if it's powerful enough to bind almost God, why not use it on, any of the other hey, Hollows are just coming through. Seal the gate to Waco Mundo. It's not how that works. You just fought a man who had a hole in his chest and was ranting about other worlds and power and godhood. Don't you tell me that's not how that works anymore.
Yeah, anyway, see, going all the way back to the original point.
Power creep.
No, going even farther back to the original point of butterfly effect. If you hadn't knocked out the gatekeeper in the first place, I only punched him in the head. How was I supposed to know he was that weak? You'd think that a place like the Society
The what?
Society would have a competent gatekeeper.
No, you don't.
Kurosaki-kun does have a point, Ishida-kun. You would think that the gatekeepers would be super strong, almost like robots or something. Oh, maybe even aliens in disguise.
At first,
Is this
I was
an
gonna say,
in-character or a Hime? It's been a long time.
I was gonna say, I was like, this is so out of character, and then I went back and watched the episodes, and I'm like, actually, this is... Yeah, she was kind of...
Out there?
Yeah. Like, they were like, look, it's the bubbly, big-titted girl.
Yeah. Or
And then they're like, oh, we put a second one in here. Why?
Orihime's rant was cut short as the black cat, known as Yorichi, had headbutted the young girl, leaving Orihime to rub her forehead in pain as tears threatened to break from her eyes. Oi, Yorichi, leave Inoue-san alone. She's just trying to lighten the mood.
I was gonna say, as much as I hate this person, they are using the honorifics all the time.
Yep.
So, they're using them both properly and consistently. So, as much as I might personally hate it, I have to say, good job, author. You are doing it correctly.
You are authoring correctly.
That doesn't mean I hate it any less, but you're doing it correctly, so I have to give you points for that.
The black
because
cat,
we're fair on this show.
The black cat turned back to Ichigo. Cat apologized. Jumped onto Ichigo's shoulder. Kurosaki-kun didn't feel a thing. I guess my head is pretty strong, huh? Or he may continue to prove this by raising her fist and hitting herself in the forehead. Stared in bewilderment. You have anything to say, Zangetsu? To be honest, King, I think we're the only person in this group that isn't insane. Makes you say that. Melon chest sums up insanity.
I wasn't aware that he'd become Cone.
Never call her that again, but you have a point. Continue. The silent giant. I don't think he's spoken once this entire time, and he keeps giving you the thumbs up. I class that as some form of insanity. Chad has always been the silent type, but I suppose you might have the point. Then there's the Quincy in a dress. I mean, come on. That costume alone sums him up. I'm not even counting the time when he pulled out a spare costume. That is true, but a spare costume. I don't think you get it. I think your point is proven. And finally, we have a talking black cat. Not counting how much bad luck that is, it's a freaking talking cat. How insane is that? Well, what about me? Come again? Well, how am I aren't insane? You said I was the only sane person here. I'm literally talking to myself. Silence. Let me rephrase that from my statement from before. I believe we are the least insane person of the group. Gee, thanks, Zangetsu. Anytime, old buddy, old pal. At least the dialogue is humorous.
Yeah, but I remember I read ahead in this because I do like to do that just to see if it stays up. I personally think it lost quite a bit towards the part of it is the power creep. Without jumping too far ahead, the fight with the first fight with oh my gosh, I forgot it. Kenpachi is the first fight with Kenpachi is quickly approaching. Now, to be fair, they correctly observe the butterfly effect in that Ichigo makes him take off the eye patch way earlier.
Yeah.
And Kenpachi gets, I didn't think it was possible, but he gets even more hyped to fight Ichigo. And there's still
how
the scene.
hyped are we talking here? Are we talking Borderlands Bandit hyped?
I mean, pretty much that, because he's like, this is awesome. Because, think about how excited he is to fight him all the time, and then think about the fact that in their first fight, he makes him take the eye patch off in, round 1. So, like I said, that part's fine. And there's still the scene where Ichigo's like, oh, I have to get away from here because the spiritual pressure of both of us is killing everyone.
Yeah.
But he has him beat Kenpachi, which, again, I could understand that, because Kenpachi's not expecting to have to use, the two-handed grip or anything like that. But it's weird because he's he goes to Kenpachi and he's like, if I beat you, you have to help me save Rukia. And he's like, yeah, sure. He's like, you're never going to beat me, so yeah, sure.
And then he beats him.
Actually, I just looked at the spot here. He doesn't say that. He says, if just give me a decent fight and I'll still help you.
You're right. Yeah.
So, oh boy. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like a proper butterfly effect hit, and Soul Society was destroyed on that day before Aizen could even any of his plans.
Soul Society was deleted.
Everything was deleted. That's the thing.
Now.
Yeah, that's the thing. I didn't read further past that. Because for me, I'm just the power creep's already too much. He's because that was my biggest problem. He'd already beaten, not almost beat, not lost to barely. He beat Kenpachi. And it doesn't, take him to the brink of death like it does in the show. He just out and out beats Kenpachi. I'm like,
well,
you're already
I think
having
what they're saying, I do believe they're observing it correctly. Basically, they're saying, if Ichigo was, 3 times stronger or 4 times stronger than he was previously, the time he fights Kenpachi is rusty as shit, really hasn't been training at all. Like, that's the reasons why Ichigo originally beat Kenpachi. He wasn't taking the fight seriously, he was super rusty, he really hadn't fought anyone good in a while. And like...
yeah, and again, I get that, but...
And so the author's saying, okay, well, Ichigo 4 times stronger would beat him significantly faster and easier. Because Ichigo, not 4 times stronger, beat him. Ergo, a 4 times stronger Ichigo.
No, and again, I get that. I'm not saying I'm saying I have a problem with the level of power creep. I'm not saying the author has done it improperly, because I'm like,
Speaking
okay.
of handling power creep, I'm gonna plug the Anfuerte story, or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know how to pronounce it. The From Weakest to Strongest story that I'm reading still.
Plug that at the end of the show.
No, well, this is relevant. Max, if you did not know, it has 300 chapters of light novel, or web novel written and translated. 300 chapters, 10 chapters per volume. So, yeah. Anyway.
Lot of that income.
My point is that in this story, there was a massive power creep that occurred right early on, where he gained power really quickly, and steamrolled a shit ton of enemies, and had only minor trouble, quote-unquote, as shown in the manga. Only had minor trouble fighting the bosses and conquering the first dungeon, etc. He quickly rectifies. The author quickly rectifies it. He quickly shows, after a certain point, that the main character's strength can't beat everything, because he's not a combat class. He's only as effective as the devices he can create.
Yeah, okay, and I get that.
Yeah.
But, like I'm saying about this story, it's like I was like, I don't want to read the Eisen arc. I don't want to read the subsequent fights, because I understand that Ichigo should beat them easier, and that's fine. That's how the author's written this, but to me, it's like, well, that's going to ruin, because, an important part of Eisen enacting his plan when he did was he was counting on the chaos that Ichigo created from having long, drawn-out fights, and from him being there so long.
Well, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. If he properly responds to the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
With that.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get out of the other board, getting a headache. Shit.
What? What about a headache?
They're arguing. So, in the other Discord I'm in, they're arguing about Pokemon based on concepts. And as per usual, the guy that tends to stick his foot in his mouth and give fucks about it doesn't seem to understand the difference between a call to action versus the chosen one story concept.
Okay, you know what? This is actually relevant, because we give. We do stories, so let's break it down, and then you can tell him why he's stupid.
Technically speaking, we are here to give criticism and critique.
It can be broken down very easily. A chosen one will always have a call to action, but a call to action is not always going to be a chosen one. An everyday, normal, average show have a call to action. And
Well,
Well, I
still
guess you
have
could
an
say it's the
adventure.
difference between Skyrim and Far Cry.
Yeah, and Far Cry, you stumbled your way in there because, well, fuck.
Some
Made him
variation
hate me.
of, oh, I shouldn't be here. Oh, things are happening. Oh, things are happening. I guess I need to learn how to become a psychotic murderer to live.
Yeah.
But then you get Skyrim. Oh, hey, you're Dragonborn. What's that? Well, you're one of, like, me.
You
I was
are
gonna say,
the
that's not
only
how-
person who can
Really
stop
hard.
the dragon onslaught! Oh, well, I guess
was
I
like,
have
should
to
be
fight
no-
it then.
It should be noted, what set the Dragonborn apart was that they could use dragon souls. Theoretically, anyone could learn to shout.
Well, I was gonna say, and not
only
just
they
that
could
they
actually
could.
sense it.
Hold on. There is a lot more lore behind that, and it's not just that. There is 3 parts that make a Dragonborn superior to the normal man learning to shout. Normal man learning to shout requires, you know, shit like what the Greybeards did, and basically becoming a monk and meditating for years and learning the intricacies of the dragon language to understand the true meaning behind the words they're using and shit. Because that's what dragon words were. They were words that gave concept a physical form.
Yeah. So, like, that's why when the dragon shouted fire. Fire.
Fire. And the Dragonborn, on the other hand, instinctually knows the dragon language as he has a dragon soul, can use and take dragon souls in, like another dragon could, so he's also the only one that can kill other dragons, similar to other dragons are the only ones who can kill other dragons.
I was gonna say, that was the most important part, was that he could kill a dragon.
And then finally, he is able to use the words without tearing his soul up. Like I said before, you had to meditate for years or months or whatever, however long it took you to truly understand the words, so then when you shouted your soul into the world, you didn't accidentally unsoul yourself.
Yeah. Because unless you happen to have a black soul gem handy, you're not fixing
So my
that.
initial summary still stands.
Yes, your initial summary about the
Sort
difference
of,
between
but
chosen ones and one.
You really simplified it, but yes, your initial summary.
Sneaky, I'm a very simple person. I like things. Will this kill me? Yes or no? Maybe. Alright, good enough.
Oh, right, good enough indeed. But yeah, no, that's the difference between a chosen one and a call to action. Thanks, Ubisoft!
An everyday Joe can do it. Yeah, an everyday Joe can have call to action. Chosen one's just
The chosen one is some otherworldly power says, this guy's going to be awesome.
Oh, okay,
The
you know,
Team
a great
Rocket
example,
sorry,
actually.
Team Rocket Duo versus Ash, basically, as well.
Yeah. You know, a great example is Noctis was the chosen one who, you know, finally accepted his call to action. His retainers that traveled with him
Oh,
accepted
his
a call to
retainers are
action
just...
to help him.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, Prompto is probably the coolest call to action for all of them.
Like, yeah, no, they weren't necessary at all, but they went with his call to action.
Yeah.
Well,
For
Gladio might have had a call to action in that he's his bodyguard.
Well, yeah, I guess you could argue Gladio's the chosen way, because he did kind of, you know, born into
Snap
it.
Noctis out of being a whiny bitch.
That part of the game, I'm just like, you know what? I hope Gladio punches you.
What is my chosen one duty? To tell the protagonist to stop being a whiny git. That doesn't seem very important.
I like
Oh,
this
trust
prophecy.
me, it is.
That doesn't seem like a very important prophecy. Oh, it will be.
He's like, I don't know, Noctis seems like a pretty okay guy. Quietly shakes head.
10 days later. Oh my god, I want to kill him.
Or yet, have we wasted enough?
We have wasted quite a bit of time.
I was gonna say, we've wasted enough time, I think.
Alright, Ichigo,
Time for
Zangetsu, you speak to Zangetsu, yeah, can everyone? Yes, but it takes 150 years. Well, I have nothing. Ichigo, you're quite the mystery. You sound like Urahara, intends to rub off on people. Ichigo side. Inside here, this place screams wacko. Oh god, you were
For a second,
right,
I thought you were gonna say
Zangetsu.
this plane screams wacko. I was like, oh, is it an MTG crossover too?
Everyone is batshit insane. Sliding doors opened. Black cat. Yorichi-sama, it's really you. The pair picked up the cat. Kukaku-sama will be so happy to see you. Zangetsu, what have I got myself into? I wish I knew. No, what I don't. Trudged inside. Ichigo followed his friends. The group got into the main room. Holy crap, look at the rack on her. They're threatening to pop out the top. Jesus, Zangetsu, shut up, you pervert. What? You're gay? No, I'm not. Kurosaki, bow down. Your presence of royalty. Look towards Ishida and the friends are already bowed down. The people left not bowing were the pair from before. Kukaku's shoulder. Ichigo gave a hard stare. Yo, Kukaku-san, we need your help with something. A pin could be heard dropping after what Ichigo said. Kurosaki, bow down. Shut up, Ishida, you dick kiss ass. If Kukaku wanted us to bow, she would have asked us to. Damn you, Kurosaki, you're gonna ruin this for us. Stuff it, glasses.
I love how he's so concerned with, like, keeping things orderly, but he's like, you know what? We can afford to have an argument in front of them.
I mean, that is the kind of shit they pulled, though.
No. It is. It absolutely is. It's just always made me laugh at Ishida.
Yeah, that's true.
Prim and proper, except when I need to yell at this guy.
Except fuck Kurosaki.
This guy can go to hell.
Kurosaki Ichigo and me and Mary Bond for helping us enter Saturday. I'm actually here to bother you. Gatekeeper unconscious, which is totally not my fault. Kukaku looked at Ichigo.
Totally not my fault. Why is there a fish-shaped dent in his skull? I have no idea. Okay. Deadpool.
Okay, for a second I thought you said fish-shaped. I'm like, what the fuck is a fish doing here?
Fish. Yeah, a Christian knocked him out.
Wait, what does Christianity have to do with fish?
You genuinely don't know?
No?
That was the sign. That was the sign. When they were being, wholesale murdered by the Romans, and they had to have a secret society, that was how you knew what a safe house was. It was marked with a fish to represent the fish that Jesus fed his followers.
What the fuck, history?
Hey, blame the Romans!
I mean, if nothing else, it worked. And it really shouldn't have.
I was gonna say, like, hey, why does the tailor shop have a fish on the outside of the door? I don't know. Don't ask stupid questions, boy.
Life of Brian. Good times. No expression. Ichigo offended her. Kukaku smirked, stood up, extended her hand. Ichigo, huh? Like your style. Give no shits about stupid things like bowing down. I'm Kukaku Shiba. He smiled to the room. Wait, is her plan literally? Is her name literally the word plan?
I think so.
No. Okay.
You're thinking of Eikaku, not Kukaku.
Yes.
That's what
That
we
would
keep
be a
you around
horrible
for.
thing. Actually, no, wouldn't that be hilarious?
That would be hilarious, yeah.
I mean, if they were ever an exchange student here in the States, they could.
I'm Plan
But
Shiba.
otherwise, it'd be like,
You're what?
what?
Ichigo smiled at the woman, liked her already, and no, I just don't think you like people bowing down. Kukaku laughed as she patted him on the shoulder. At this point, he noticed she only had one arm. Oh my, is that just me or is it super hot? Well, it looks like Zangetsu
what?
is into the same sort of things Ricky is. I'm embarrassed to know you. What? Kukaku-chan, if you would please. discuss what we need to do in detail. Kakuren waltzed into my house and expect a favor from me. You haven't changed at all, Yorichi. You know it. The cat proudly proclaimed as it pawed at Ichigo's head. Stop that, you weirdo. Let Kaku. Kids, let me introduce my brother to you. So I know. Oh yes, sister, I'm ready. Ichigo tricked aside. Kaku pulled back sliding door. A kneeling man who, when he looked up, Ichigo recognized his face. Oh my god, it's that guy. Once the man saw Ichigo, his face grew red in anger, and he pointed a finger at Ichigo. It's you. Ichigo, you know my brother. You could say I bumped into him. My brother fumed. How dare you? Do you know what you did to me? Ichigo had to keep back a chuckle at the memory, but shook his head. Ichigo noticed everyone in his group who were trying to keep back laughter but failing. You know how long it took me to get out of there? Hey, let me go. It won't be the head I shove up your pig's ass. Silence, it could be heard. Kaku looked disturbed while the rest of the group simply stared at the floor to hide amusement. You got balls, King. I think you're rubbing off on me. I would never influence you. Sarcasm is considered the lowest form of wit. Shoving up, yes, and shoving someone's head up an animal's ass is considered less than appropriate for any situation.
Why must you be correct?
He deserved it. I'm not disagreeing with you. It's freaking hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing all night. Ichigo, what did you do to Ganju? Grubby hands. Kukaku, the moron was riding around a pig harassing an old man, so I decided to shove his head up his pig's ass as punishment. Ganju grabbed Ichigo again, rose his fist to strike him. Ganju, is that true? Stopped mid-strike, not even attempting to block it. Let go, or no, Sister Sama. You know I don't like being lied to, but I'm not Og. Who's being stomped on by Kukaku. Squeal like a pig comes to mind when I think of what you did to him. Well, the pig certainly did squeal. Jesus fucking Christ. I think we're finding out too many of the author's fetishes.
Oh, why did you have to make me think about that? Ooh, yeah.
I should disown you. You trust the Shinigami over your brother. I'll believe you this time. And next time you see my idiot brother doing something stupid, tell me. Do you understand? Yes, ma'am. She scares me. No kidding. Kaku hefted her brother onto the feet. Ganju, I want you to treat our guests properly, even as Shinigami. I'll plant my foot so far up your ass it'll come out your mouth. He nodded. Big sister terrifying. I still think it's hot. Are you serious, Sangetsu? Just a minute. Carry on. Kurosaki, are you there? Ichigo shook his head and took a step back. Sorry. What's up? I'm a bit worried. You looked out of it. Was there sword talking to? Is it an alien? Maybe a robot? Oh, could it be an alien robot? Okay, the joke's getting old.
Yeah.
I don't like her. I think it's rather cute. She pictures you as an alien or a robot. An alien robot. You do realize I'm an exact copy of you, so in actuality, she's calling you an alien or robot. Shit. Why shit? Oh no, she's calling me an alien or robot. What? Shook his head. Boundaries. In a way. How are we gonna enter it? What's the matter? Worried about Rukia. I'm going to shove my foot up your ass. Shigami's asses.
I was gonna say, this guy really likes putting foreign objects into asses.
You know, see, that's what I said. I think we're finding a bit too much out about this guy's kinks.
like at first I didn't want to think about it, but yeah, I think you might be right.
Ran up with the group. Ichigo showed himself as being unaffected. Rukia, handle tighter. Shaky sigh. Remember what the Shade said, we gain strength at 4 times anyone else. If we just keep training, there's no chance of us losing. Zangetsu, I'm glad I met you. Yandru, lying red, enter the inner world. Zangetsu, any updates? Nothing. Since we are in the Soul Realm, throw yourself off a building. Pull of yours, shove it up your ass. What do you want? What do you think? What do you think? I want something. Don't mess around. You always come to us when you want things. Maybe he gets off on knowing things that we don't. Yes, I enjoy being petty as that, you fool. Oh, did I touch a sore spot? Zangetsu, shut up. I think Shades is appropriate. I do not believe you deserve to know who I am, but I can give you a name. You may call me Q.
Real original.
That has to be the worst name I've ever heard. You literally just gave us a letter, a freaking letter. Fine, if that's the way you wish to play it, then you can call me Z. Mock my name all you wish, but Ichigo asked for a name, and a name is what I gave. I know I did, but I was expecting an actual name. I suppose Q is better than nothing. Now, what have you got to tell us? Hollow is getting ready to attack. How you know where the Hollow is? Why haven't you told us? Because you would hunt it down and slay it, and then ruin the great source of power by keeping this Hollow's location secret. There's no chance of either you destroying this great power. You're an asshole. I bet you're on the Hollow side. I'm inclined to believe Zangetsu Q. Even if this Hollow is a great source of power, why hide it? I hide the Hollow's presence because in turn it hides both of your presences from it. When I follow the Hollow, I hide your Ryatsu from it by surging mine, thus confusing the beast. This allows you both to gain power and in turn allow the Hollow and I to gain power, so that when the Hollow decides to attack, the amount of power you can gain from absorbing a piece of it increases your Hollow power exponentially. So you say the Hollow's getting ready to attack, how come? I thought you were able to hide us. We've all gained enough strength, and the beast has gained enough strength to attack us again. And just let the Hollow attack us and hope we can defeat it. Is that the best way to do this? Who said anything about waiting for the Hollow attack? I'm saying, why don't we prepare for the Hollow attack? Set a trap. We're kind of in a place with no cover. This place is your mind. A Hollow attack will be soon. I hate the riddles. I'm more curious about what he meant. Maybe he said, so the Hollow ourselves, maybe he'll cut off our arms hearing the stupid riddle. I guess we'll figure it out. Then we gotta be strong to beat him. I'll teach you something. Blah, 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 blah. They're fighting now. They grab their cloth and spin the blade and throw it forward. Grasp the cloth of his blade, swung overhead. Seems I deserve that name now. Opened his eyes that he closed and saw Ichigo's blade a few inches from his face with Ichigo smirking at him. It seems you managed to beat me. I suppose I should teach you the name. The attack's name is Line Break 3 days later. Oh, so suspenseful. You okay there, Max? Max? Am I the only one left alive here?
No, I muted myself, and I did not mean to. And I thought I'd unmuted myself. Apologize for that.
Quite.
Okay, that was my brother trying to yank something from under a mess.
Cool.
Did it occur to him to clean up?
Probably not. Anyway. 3 days ago they arrived, now they're ready to get in there. Let me ask you, my friends and I have to enter. And your method is to fire you all out of a cannon and break through the barrier. Now I don't like the hopefully part. How about no? Kicked Ichigo inside of a cannon. Closed the door. Ichigo stood on the other side of the closed door, simply staring at the place where the entrance to the exit cannon was. See the group standing around the Gyatso orb as well as Ganju. Place his hands on it. Zangetsu, how screwed are we? Are you sure I can't give a number less than 1?
This much. The dialogue, pretty funny.
I was gonna say, yeah, for the most part, it's
like
funny.
I said, the dialogue between Ichigo and Zangetsu is mildly humorous.
Although it appears that they didn't put in training into this, and it's like, here, we'll just stick Ichigo in there with 4 times the normal Ryatsu he has at this point. Totally be able to control that output, right?
I was gonna say,
I mean, don't you know,
right?
Max? He also learns 4 times as fast. So he's just a living hyperbolic chamber, don't you know? Ugh, oh my back. See, we did make it after all, less than 1 my ass. Sure. Wait, what? On a scale of 1 to 10, how screwed are we? You want the truth? Are you sure I can't give you a number less than 1? So that would be 0 screwed. Less than 1
I was gonna say,
ass.
0 screwed is a good thing.
You see, this is where I think something's missing in the dialogue here. Like, from the dialogue after the line break, it sounds like Ichigo thought he was gonna be fucked over hardcore, like 11 out of 10.
The issue here is that killer phrase they used on a scale of 1 to 10. The idea here is that on a scale going from 1 to 10, 10 being absolute, oh well, we're completely fucked. It's some dialogue.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Though is he's
Yeah.
using
I
1
see what
as
you're-
least fucked and 10 as most fucked, and then his hollow is like, oh well, we're totally unfucked. Then why
Yeah,
would Ichigo being like, oh, less than 0 my ass?
So
You weren't
what
fucked
this should
though.
have been,
Everything succeeded just fine. No one's dead.
so it should have been like on a scale of 1 to 10. How likely is this? How well will we do?
Do you think we'll succeed? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Still, no. Even that. Like, do you think we'll fail? No. Like.
on a
That's the
scale of 1
problem.
to
No matter
10, how
how
successful?
How successful, it still doesn't make sense. Less than 1 successful, so we're gonna be completely unsuccessful. Still broke through. Like, I would agree with you, Max, but the problem here is post line break, how he delivers that line of less than 1 my ass. He's implying like, oh, you fucking lied to me. I thought we were gonna be fucked. So, like, regardless of how you rephrase the previous conversation, to fix the conversation to sound right, you need to change the post-line break conversation. A gay joke. You okay? I'm stuck with this guy. Hold it right there, intruders. Turned around, Ichigo and Ganju stare at each other before Ichigo quickly grabs one of the Shinigami and holds his blade against the meek boy's neck. Stand back. Otherwise this guy gets it, like we care. What? They're all from Squad 11, I'm from Squad 4. 11 Squad hates the 4th Squad. We couldn't care less. I'm from Squad 4. Okay, yeah, he made an error here. Weakling from Squad 4. He said Squad 11, but he should have said Squad 4 unless the previous dialogue was incorrect. He isn't worth saving. I hate this place. Kick the shit out of them. We get introduced to Ikaku. Whatever.
Kaku.
Ichigo vanishes. Ikaku's wise item gets knocked out. No sense of honor. You expect honor. Executing innocent women. What are you on about? Ichigo disappears and the blades clash. Ichigo is left in midair. You're not so tough. He gets a Gotensho. Blade begins to crack. Extend. Huzuki Maru. Plume of smoke. That was brutal. We're gonna waste my time. Let's kick his ass. You're pretty strong. Stay down. My attack practically cut you in half. You can barely stand as is. I know that's the only reason why I reached my blade, because I would have died otherwise. You win this one, Carrot Top. Good. Glad we got the nickname, man.
That's what we wanted to see.
Ichigo frowned. Do me a favor and finish it. I won't kill you. Mercy, I'm surprised. Save the chick. Head to the massive spire. I'll just sleep for a bit. That's where she is. If our friend's telling the truth. Find Ganju. How easy that was. Well, we expect you heard shades 4 times the power in all caps. That means we kick serious ass, King. Not really. If Ichigo starts at 1, he doesn't. But if Ichigo starts at 1, and he's at 10 by the time he shows up, and in this story, he's at 40 by the time he shows up, right? Or however the author's doing the math.
40's enough.
But it's like compared to the guys who were like, oh, we train every day and we're super fucking hardcore and like, no, I wouldn't assume the guy who literally got his powers like a week ago, even if he's got 4 times the power exponential training or whatever the fuck's going on, I would not assume that he's going to be stronger than the people who have been practicing for like a fucking 100 years. That's not like Ichigo is right on this situation. Like, why would you assume that just because you have a stronger power gain, you're gonna be able to beat people who have been at this for 100 years? Like, that's a stupid assumption.
Yeah.
I'm ready to save Rukia and my friends. Haha. So, I mean, do we want to keep going with this next week, or what?
I mean, we could go for another week, because nothing really happened in this chapter.
Alright. Then I'll mark it down. Alright, so now let's get to the good shit. Weeb. So, to summarize Weeb, Harry Potter, we've already covered the whole time skip thing. Harry Potter taking place in modern day. Harry has access to a computer. The attitudes of most of the background people have changed due to it being in the modern era, and certain attitudes of the modern era having replaced the attitudes of the 80s, especially in Britain. What else to cover? Oh, right. He grew up on anime. So ergo, when he turns out to be the chosen one of basically what he assumes to be another anime story, he's like, oh boy, I hope it's a harem anime. And that's where we left off.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Basically, he grows up. It's Harry Potter, but Harry Potter's grown up on DBZ. Also, just because I read the entire thing
Not just
and I
DBZ.
enjoyed it. Yeah, but anime in general. I really don't know what era this is supposed to be in, because they have debates about like at one point they're like, oh, what is Trigger's best series? Like they bring up stuff like they bring up stuff like Kirito, so like Sneaky. So I think this is actually just set in present day.
Yeah, no, like I said before, I'm pretty sure it was just at present day.
Yeah, well, because we were we were debating to figure it out.
Yeah, first we thought 2000s, and then it was 2007.
And we're like, no, it's just present day,
Yeah.
which isn't that big of a problem. But again, it brings up the.
We said this before. We brought up the whole problem with the whole time moving forward thing, and as long as you don't like even try to remotely mention the time period that we're currently in beyond what's plot relevant, you can sort of get away with it. You can pull a J.K. Rowling and sort of get away with it. But time period's important on time-related stories. Show me your ticket, Harry. Having heard that request 4 times already, he had it on hand. Here, Aunt Petunia. She scrutinized the piece of paper again, as if expecting something to have changed. Platform 9 3/4, she read. 3/4. That makes no sense. A step behind them, Uncle Vernon grunted in agreement. As he huffed and puffed from having circled Platform 9 several times, somebody crashed into his back, and he turned about as quickly as his girth allowed. Watch where you're going. Eep! A little girl jumped back in fright. She was caught by a middle-aged man, her father, judging from the matching hair colors, who gave the dirtly patriarch a polite smile. Sorry about my daughter, sir. Vernon grunted again, paying the pair no more heed. Harry, however, trailed them with his eyes until the two rejoined their family. The uniformly red-haired group was trooping away when he heard the mother scold her daughter for running ahead. It's not my fault, Mum. The muggle was so large. Harry's eyes widened at the term, and he glanced at his guardians. Vernon seemed oblivious, but Petunia had clearly noticed as well. I suppose I could go ask them, she whispered, looking positively terrified at the thought. What, pet? You don't mean those people are also that sort? Vernon sent the family a belated glare. That's not really the proper use of the word belated, but it just means like delayed. A delayed glare. Like, oh, I'm glaring at them, and then they're gonna feel it 5 minutes later.
Yeah, totally.
Future sight, but a glare! She nodded, lips pressing into a thin line. I'm going, she declared, as if she was about to do something life-threatening. Before either of the males could say anything, Petunia squared her shoulders and strode towards the boisterous group. Harry watched her approach, a plump woman, and exchange a few words, then point back at him. The entire family eyed him for a moment, and he ducked his head. Both Vernon and he breathed easier when Petunia returned. Harry's uncle even hugged her in a rare show of affection. The woman's name is Weaselly. She said there was a magical barrier, and she'd show you how to get through. Petunia took a steadying breath and gave Harry a hug. Be good. Don't do anything dangerous. Uncle Vernon clapped him on the shoulder, looking eager to put as much distance between himself and anything of that sort as possible. Good luck, nephew. Thanks, Harry said, taken aback by the hasty farewells. Goodbye, Aunt Petunia, Uncle Vernon. He watched Vernon usher his wife across the platform until he lost them in the mass of commuters. A little uneasily, Harry began to drag his trunk towards the wizarding family. He hauled his trunk down the train, pressing against the walls whenever anyone passed in the opposite direction. Having escaped the rambunctious gingers, he instantly found himself in a new predicament. Oh, the Weasleys had shown him how to get on the platform, all right? They had also asked him a million questions after finding out he was the Harry Potter, half of which he couldn't even make heads or tails of. He even got scolded by the mother for swearing, but who could blame him? It's not every day one saw a pair of gangly teenagers run headfirst into a wall and vanish instead of cracking their skulls open.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that one did always... It's like, hey, the guy who... Oh, but he's so magical! Yeah, but you clearly saw him raised by non-magical people who walked away as soon as you talked about magic. Cut the kid some slack.
Also, I mean, come on, even if you know about it, just watching someone run into a fucking brick column is going to invoke a reaction.
Especially when you don't you're just like, alright, go ahead, kids. Where's this platform? Geronimo! What the fuck? Where the fuck they go?
Yeah, it's just like...
You watch your language. Shut up, Captain America. They just teleported into a brick wall.
Indeed. Incidentally, none of the Muggles had paid them any attention whatsoever. He got away from the fussy matron by climbing onto the Hogwarts Express, an old-fashioned steam train, only to find that it was brimming with witches and wizards, all of whom were taller than Harry and all of whom
Wait! The magic train platform was full of magic people.
I know, shocker.
Color me surprised, yo.
Shocker, but consider the following.
Harry's a prat?
Yeah. Or so it at least appeared, at least. Nobody paid him much heed, but he still kept his head low to hide his scar. His luggage seemed to be growing heavier by the minute, and he was barely making progress. He wanted nothing more than to hole up somewhere quiet and rest, but all of the compartments thus far had been taken, and he dreaded having to introduce himself to a bunch of older kids. He was starting to feel dizzy. Suddenly, his eyes landed on a floating trunk, which was following its odor like an obedient dog. He gaped at the sight, then released a shaky breath. These people were all magical, and so was Harry. He belonged here. Heartened by the thought, he trudged on and eventually stumbled upon an empty compartment. Dragging his luggage in, he abandoned the idea of lifting it to the overhead rack as futile, and collapsed on the exceptionally comfortable bench. "Can I sit here?" Harry turned and nodded in resignation. The newcomer looked about his age and was slightly shorter than him for a change. He had straw-colored hair and wore jeans and a t-shirt, which was downright mundane compared to the outlandish outfits Harry had glimpsed on the platform. The boy pointed at Harry's fancy trunk. "Need a hand with that?" Their combined efforts were just enough to hoist both of their trunks onto the luggage rack. Harry wondered if there weren't any spells he could learn to make it this easier in the future. Probably the one that makes them fucking float, kiddo.
Harry doesn't know that.
Yes, he does.
He just saw someone.
Literally just saw someone floating
Okay, but it's forgivable that he's forgotten about that because he's busy looking at all the magical stuff and thinking to himself, no, it's okay, I'm supposed to be here.
I mean, I guess. Phew.
And, like, again, all he saw was it floating a few inches off the ground. Like, for all he knows, that's the extent of the magic. Put it a couple of inches off the ground. Like...
Yeah, still would make it easier.
I mean, yeah, but, like, he doesn't know, like, why is it... how is this magic work? I'm just saying. It's not that crazy.
I'm just saying he saw something floating and he wasn't like, oh, maybe I should learn that floating magic. Anyway. Phew. The kid extended his hand. Name's Anthony Goldstein, but everyone calls me Tony. Harry Potter, he said cautiously, shaking his proffered
I'm
hand.
just telling you, get ready for a couple of Jew jokes.
Well, I mean, he is a weeb, and he did spend a lot of time on the internet.
I'm aware, I just... in case someone's going to get triggered. I'm telling you.
I'm just saying, I'm not surprised the author's taking this path.
I know, I'm just saying, to the people reading, yo, heads up. I personally don't think they're anti-Semitic, but someone else might.
Someone might.
So don't you bastards say we never warned you of anything.
Like that famous Harry Potter? My mum says you're some sort of hero. Harry.
Yeah, I'm kind of awesome.
Not really. Sorry. The blonde said, rubbing the back of his neck. Bet you get that a lot. Not really, he repeated. I had no idea I was a wizard until a few months ago. Huh. Well, there's probably a lot of Muggleborns joining, so no worries. Tony plopped down on the seats. Me, I'm what they call a half-blood. My mum's a witch. But we live in a regular house and everything. She says purebloods don't even have electricity, can you imagine? Harry's eyes popped out at the thought. Seriously? What do they do for light and heating? Don't they need dishwashers and vacuum cleaners and stuff? Oh, they have spells for those things. Rather handy ones too. Mum uses them around the kitchen. Although she always makes me do things by hand. Harry could relate, thinking that a spell for peeling potatoes would have made his childhood a lot more enjoyable. No, it's worse than not having dishwashers. They don't have computers or internet, no game consoles, tellies, smartphones, MP3 players. Mum says they have the radio, but there's only one station and it plays lame wizard music. Harry shook his head. That's horrible. Why would anyone do that to themselves? Most of them are centuries behind the times, and too much magic is bad for electronics. Or so I hear. That's why none of the stuff works around Hogwarts. It's worth it though, isn't it?
I would say that was one of the things I asked. Like, hold on, isn't Harry magical as shit? How is this computer working?
I don't think wizards like exude magic. So I mean, I'm pretty sure unless he's casting spells at the computer, it would be fine.
I guess.
Harry grinned at the thought that all that incredible stuff he's seen so far was only the beginning. I still can't believe it's real. 3 months ago, I'd have said aliens or giant robots were more likely. Oh yeah. Giant robots? What kind? You know, he shifted in his seat, unsure if he was about to be made fun of. The kind you pilot. Tony leaned forward. Gundam or Macross?
The answer to that, for the record, is Gundam, you heretic.
Everyone knows it's clearly Code Geass.
You can see yourself out.
Leave this place.
I have never even fucking watched the show, read the manga, or even, like, known what it was about.
Okay.
I'll give it this much. It does have some cool design.
All I know is that
give it
the
a
fan
watch
base
through.
for it's obnoxious.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, they are. They're one of those fan bases that chosen anime is some god-given gift of political writing.
Now, I will tell you this, Sneaky.
Hmm.
The show will make you crave Pizza Hut.
That's right. Isn't that like
Why
a
would I
character
want
trait?
intestinal
One of
failure?
the main characters, she really fucking loves pizza.
Yeah. And in every shot she's eating pizza, it's Pizza Hut. And it's like, I'm
Wait, is
watching
it
this on
actually just
YouTube.
Pizza Hut?
Oh yeah, no, Max, it is just straight up Pizza Hut.
Oh my god. Now I understand the jokes I've seen in crossovers.
Huh.
I thought it was just like, I will just call
A
it
fan
Pizza
joke?
Hut because that's generic. I didn't realize.
Yeah, no,
Actually,
See, I was really wondering why you were like, oh, you want intestinal failure. I'm like, why would I crave intestinal failure? Is the fucking show that bad?
no, like that is literally straight from the show.
oh my god, that is just Pizza Hut.
And it's all over the place. Like, it is all over the place.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I didn't realize that it was just Pizza Hut.
Yeah,
Why
no,
is she
Pizza
so
Hut.
fucking thin? Like, holy shit. Her legs
Uh,
and arms look like they put...
Something. Oh no, that's the art style. That's just the art.
Yeah, people have
You should see some of the robot designs. We're talking like some of the arms look like they just stop just shy of the ink.
I was gonna say,
Robot.
and one of the things I'm hoping is that when they come out with season 3, they bring the promotions back. But, yeah, like, whenever there's pizza in the show, and there's a lot of pizza, it's just Pizza Hut.
Why? Why, though?
What you
Why?
want to bet Pizza Hut
Because
is what the author survived on while making stuff.
You see, actually, Pizza Hut came to him and was like, hey, man, we want to make a promotional anime for Pizza Hut.
Here's the real question.
We'll sponsor you with infinite pizza
Was it
as
Pizza
long as you're
Hut
writing
in the
this anime.
manga?
I don't think it would be. No.
Are there any shots, or is this just an anime thing?
I would assume it would be just an anime thing.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Max? I couldn't
He's
hear you.
curious if it carries over to the manga.
Oh, well, there went Atin. I guess something exploded. Again.
Yep.
No, nothing exploded. I just had to talk to my parents for a moment. Anyway,
Supposedly,
I think it was just...
the deal with Pizza Hut happened because Erica 7... Wait, what pizza chain was in Erica 7?
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, what?
Whatever. The first years milled about the
Pizza
chamber,
Law.
chattering
Exclusive.
excitedly. Their imminent sorting was
Okay.
the subject of a heated debate. The majority of them expected a magical test of some kind, although wrestling a troll theory proposed by a familiar ginger had a number of ardent supporters.
Yeah, like I said, be prepared for a big ol' change to the plot.
I'm sure. Not everyone appeared nervous. A pale kid with slicked back hair boasted about knowing exactly what the ceremony entailed. Flanked by two other boys who rivaled Dudley in size, he kept shooting the people around him haunty looks and snorting at their wild speculations. This
Oh my
didn't
God.
pass unnoticed by the Weasley boy, whose face grew red as his hair as he glared at the trio. Harry inched away from the brewing conflict and settled at the edge of the crowd. McGonagall returned before things could get out of hand, and led the suddenly quiet children out of the chamber and into the Great Hall. The place was well deserving of its name. Harry reckoned his entire home would have fit in here twice over. The presence of magic was evident in the countless floating candles in the high ceiling which reflected the night sky. Harry caught himself gawking and ducked his head when he realized there were hundreds of students seated at 4 huge tables. Oh, so we're going with that. I see.
Going with what?
Butterfly effect. There was like 100 students at best in the original books.
Japan. Insane.
Like, there was like 30 people or something in his first year class. No, it was like 10 to 15 to each house from his first year class. So like they were small ass classes because the whole everyone got murdered and their kids died problem that they were having earlier. Before we saw it, looked around frantically. Ravenclaw. Mine about to be red. Pull the hat off, stop fretting. Those urges are normal for a boy your age. Even that. Yep, that too. You're not that special. Look, I'm not here to play your therapist. Relax and let me do my job. Ambition, and not one I've encountered in an 11-year-old's head before. I guess you are somewhat special. It's every man's dream. You have a peculiar taste in role models, Mr. Potter. Now, where shall I put you? Don't doing things on pace. Evaluations nicely. A house of free thinkers, without judgment. Ravenclaw. Interesting. Okay. That made about as much sense as Evangelion's ending.
Wait, what?
That made about as
Evangelion's
much
ending.
the nitwick tweak oddment from Dumbledore. And Harry's response to that is that made about as much sense as Evangelion's ending.
I missed that one. I somehow
Which
missed
one?
that.
I think there are like 4 remakes for it now.
No. I mean, I missed the line.
joke.
No, but which referring to?
Was it some kind of code? That old man is high.
High as a kite. After the feast, off to rendition. Attempt at rapping. Interesting. Hubbard Hillard. Entrance to the common room is protected by a password, making sure only members can enter. Observe. Password 25C #7JX0. Password approved. Wait, what?
What's going on?
We're not going with the whole riddle thing, eh? We're going with like military dash code.
No, just keep reading.
Oh, good, okay. We're changing it to Ravens, but okay. Told you that passwords like that are vulnerable to dictionary attacks. Well, at least they're aware of this shit. I mean, hey man, dictionary attacks are no joke.
I mean, if you're a filthy casual.
I suppose.
That's why you need to include letters and numbers and a mixture of upper and lowercase children.
And if you really want to throw people off you, multiple languages.
True. Or you could be like my friend Mitch, who had 32 character passwords.
Honestly, at that point, just get passkey or another password keeping service and just, yeah.
That. Wow.
What?
I was like, why do you have a 32 character password to get onto your laptop? I don't want anyone to find out what I have on here. Do you run a drug business or something, Mitch? Is there something I need to know?
I mean, hell, I just fucking, encrypt my hard drives and shit, and I thought that was maybe overly paranoid, but fucking 32-bit password?
Handmade! Every single one of them handmade, too!
Oh god, I can't imagine remembering all that.
He had one for his laptop, a separate one for his desktop, a 32-bit one for his email. He did tone it down. Facebook was just his birthday. He's like, I don't care if someone steals my Facebook. For his bank, he went for 48 characters. I was like, okay, I mean, I guess I can understand being that paranoid about your bank account.
I suppose, yeah.
Like, I was like, I want to call him crazy, but out of all my friends I've ever had, he's the only one that you've never heard complain about having anything get stolen or hacked, because, you know, I'm sure that someone out there is like, this is a 32-bit password. I'm not even gonna bother. I can go find the old lady who used her birth year.
Indeed. Indeed. Anyway. Let's continue. I thought your password was cool. Gave him a surprised look. Common room. Upholstered blue. Bronze. Posh. Century old mansion. Didn't gawk for long. Grumbling perfects.
Prefix, not perfect, Sneaky.
Prefects.
One is a word. The other are human beings.
I don't know, man. Maybe they're robots.
Shut up, Odahime.
We're gonna run orientation. Potions was starting in 5 minutes. Being a prat and get your cauldron. The blight thing stung me. Open with a click. Harry grunted. Which you can't change because it's also bound to your blood, evidently. Oh, did he say fucking shit or something? I think he did, yeah.
Yeah, no, he said, ow, the bloody thing stung me when it went for the magic lock. And the passphrase. I mean, you do have to admit, even if someone does a dictionary attack, it will take it a while. It's uncommon.
I mean, a dictionary attack wouldn't even work against that. That's a multi-word password.
Yeah, you're right.
Like something like the horse rolls 20. That's never going to be brute forced.
Yeah.
Especially if you capitalize some of those letters. But yeah. Anyway. Not that funny. At this rate, they're gonna be late. Desperate. Immediately raced after. Wait, please. Hoping you could show us the proportions. You better hurry. Follow the corridor. Take the first right, then turn left. Second door. They followed the instructions. Sorry we're late, that bitch. Haha. Potions lesson, which cost him and Tony at least 50 points apiece. He'd been 2 days to keep track of the deductions. Harry was eager to get away from the dungeons. Next class, charms took place in the classroom on the upper floors. Most of the window seats were free. He walked up to the bored-looking ginger. Could you give me this seat? But my future depends on it. Look, it makes no difference to you, does it? I could pay you. Do I look like a charity case? Piss off. I didn't mean to. Harry Potter. Wait till my brother hears about this. I'm Ron. You can have the window seat if I sit next to you. Conceding the seat. Question him. Disappointed when Harry wasn't battling dragons. His family being one of the isolated traditionalists whose understanding of technology was at the middle age level. Professor Flitwick. Opposite of Professor Snape. Handing out feathers. What's it made of? Pine and dragon. Dragon. Dragon what? Just dragon.
Dragon.
Must be nice to have a matched one. Mine's a hand-me-down. I don't think there's much life left in it. Making the feather wobble feebly. Swish and flick.
Yeah, that was one of those things. I never understood why Harry wasn't like, hey, Ron, I'm fabulously wealthy. Like, I have more money than I could ever know what to do with.
I don't know, man. I also didn't understand, like, the wand's gotta be, like, subsidized by fucking Hogwarts or something. There's like what, 7 gallons? Galleons?
Yeah.
Like...
Or there's gotta be, like, or you know, there's gotta be, like, even if inflation hasn't kept up, like, there's gotta be some kind of stipend, like, you know, or like a pay off your wand program at the school.
Well, I mean,
something.
maybe it's for Muggleborns only. Who knows? But like, it wouldn't make it wouldn't make sense for a wand to only cost $450 when apparently it's like such an impossible thing to get into. Only one guy in the fucking area can do it. Like,
now,
there's like 2 wand makers in Europe or something. Like, sorry, 3. There's like 3 wand makers that we know of in canon in Europe.
Yeah.
All of Europe. 3. So clearly it's a hard subject to get into, to make wands. So clearly they're expensive as shit, because otherwise everyone would have a secondary wand, because it's so fucking important. Of course you would carry a second one in case your first one was broken somehow. But they don't. Probably because the actual cost of the wand is absurd, and all the students get their wands at a wicked cheap level because you need a wand. And it wouldn't make much sense to be like, hey, family that needs their child to learn how to use their magic properly so they don't explode, we're going to charge you $7,000 to get a wand. Now, if this was America, I could understand that because corporations are assholes. However, this is not America. This is Britain. And they subsidize everything there. I'm not wrong.
No, you're not. Or, you know, even, like, you think Dumbledore wouldn't have been like, you know, I'm pretty wealthy myself, like...
Indeed. Atin is correct. He is pretty wealthy.
Yeah,
Moving on.
Yeah, just up yours, Dumbledore. And Harry, for that matter.
Wingardium Leviosa. Took all the effect he had not to whoop. No fanfare, no fancy lights, it simply responded. Splendid. 5 points to Ravenclaw. On your first try, oh, you're the boy that lived. It's a given, maybe it is. It'd certainly be hero-like to have a natural gift for magic. Match chickens and needles, repot some magical parsley, recognize the 3 largest constellations, and fly an actual broomstick. The last activity was fun, and he wanted to see if he could buy one next year. Accustomed to the school. Teachers, second type. He hated Harry. After the ill-fated first lesson, he made sure to arrive to potions early and follow the instructions to the letter. That didn't prevent the professor from making snide remarks and docking points or things Harry couldn't have possibly known he was doing wrong. The latest lesson was no different, and he almost leapt towards the exit when it finally ended. Does Snape know you from somewhere? I know we were late that one time, but damn, I have no clue what his problem is. You should talk to Flitwick. I still have 5 years with that git. You should do something. You've lost us 100 points already. He grit his teeth and kept moving. No, see, that is one thing I don't understand about this, in general, is I was pretty heartily abused in school, and I didn't have the greatest of home life. But I still had enough fucking know-how and social skills to be like, hey, this teacher is singling me out. I can tell on him to other people.
Yeah.
Like, there's other people higher than him that he reports to that I can go to get him in trouble.
And, like, even if I don't get him the first time, he'll get mad and step it up, and I'll get him the second time.
Yeah, like, oh no, what's he gonna do? Come after me harder, giving me more material to work with, to report on him with? Like, it's not like I'm tattletaling on one of my peers who can do a lot more shit to me than a teacher could and get away with it. Like, I'm telling on someone who's holding a job, like, even if I didn't understand really when I was that age, I knew they would get in a lot more trouble than my peers. So, I mean, that's just me, but it's just like, why the fuck did he just sit there and eat shit for 6 fucking years from this asshole? I'll never know.
Like, if nothing else, you can go sit on Dumbledore anytime you want. Like, you can just go walk into his room.
Easy there, Atin. Your kinks are showing.
Yeah, funny. You know what people have written.
I am aware, yes.
Anyway, like, you can go to Dumbledore anytime.
Yeah, Dumbledore always says, my door is always open.
And even if Dumbledore isn't, like, sure.
You have your head of house, like Tony suggested. You know, like, there's a lot of people you can fucking talk to.
Yeah. Alright, anyway, I gotta go eat dinner, but I don't feel bad because we're almost done here, so...
Yeah, we're almost done here.
I'll see you guys later.
Potions aside, ignorant things in the wizard world, pure bloods top the rankings, Flitwick put up to motivate students, above average, coursework wasn't difficult, study group, a bunch of girls would inevitably join, bigger turnout than expected, turn tail and running. Who's here for the study group? Unanimous shoulder of hands. Transfiguration homework was an essay, so we'll do that first. I heard Harry Potter would be teaching magic. I heard Harry Potter would be teaching magic. I am getting handy with the mending and levitation charms, I suppose. The boy scoffed. First year spells. Weren't you trained by the unspeakables? Blimey, you must be daft to believe the quibbler. Everyone laughed. Look, I only want to form a first year group for helping each other with homework. What about third years? What about third years? Wanker. That's it. If you're not going to behave, get out. Wait. It was always too late. He watched the entire library stream out. You hold your meeting somewhere else, Mr. Potter. Yes, Madam Pins. Most of the students had scattered, but the few still lingered in the corridor outside. That was a waste of my time. Hear, hear. Harry winced and didn't look them in the eye. Fruitless first meeting of his study group, or perhaps gawk at Potter and make noise group would be more accurate. Harry was understandably discouraged. He didn't drop the idea. Anime protagonists always started meeting cute girls after joining a club, so he just had to keep at it. Maybe aiming lower was the key. Limit it at Ravenclaw, private library, courage. I can read whenever I want. Why do we need a club? Who's going to teach us? He didn't invite all the students. It won't flop like last time. His housemates were skeptical. He could hardly blame them. Tony's help. He somehow managed to rope 2 more people and join the pure-blood Terry Boot and a pint-sized girl of Asian heritage named Sue Lee. First Sue. Transfiguration essays. Pleasant surprise. His idea worked out fairly well. Every child growing up in a magical household took new for granted. He was able to contribute by demonstrating a few basic charms that the others had trouble with. The subject came easily for him, to Flitwick's delight. Sue Lee rarely said a word outside academic subjects. Even then, her sentences were laconic to the point of being cryptic. Harry was getting used to her quiet presence. She single-handedly improved the group's grade by going over their essays and making corrections in the margins in her tidy script. Harry felt guilty every time this happened, and his later assignments tended to be both better researched and written in more comprehensible penmanship. Sue didn't show any outward reaction to the change, but Harry was oddly pleased when she didn't spend as much time fixing his essays. Tony became his best friends, marveling at the differences. This won't get you anywhere, Terry snapped as he watched Harry and Tony's cross-reference magical plants with the efforts of the potions they were used in. Harry had jokingly asked if potions was anything like alchemy in the Elder Scrolls, a theory Tony was eager to check. We should be memorizing formulas instead, you know, the things which get us grades, but I want to know how it works. You're not going to discover the principles behind potion ingredient interactions on your own, Potter, and certainly not from a silly muggle game. I'm leaving. Harry glumly watched the boy walk away. Terry had been uptight, but you couldn't deny his knowledge of magic. The diminished group underwent another trial when Padma Patil approached them during one of their meetings. She appraised Harry and Tony sourly before addressing Sue. Lee, why are you always helping these two? Come study with me and Liz. We can pull our own weight. While irritated by the implication, Harry found himself turning towards the taciturn girl in curiosity. If he was being truthful, she didn't benefit from their association as much as he and Tony did. Anthony is fourth in our year at Transfiguration, and Harry is second at Charms, Sue explained after a few seconds of silence. They have interesting perspectives. Oh, Padma said thoughtfully and walked away. The next evening she came over and clumsily asked for help with her Charms essay. Harry was overjoyed. Yet he had a hard time striking up conversation with their new member. Padma considered the two boys to be weirdos, and perhaps they were from a pure-blood's perspective, so he wanted to at least make her less wary around them. Unfortunately, no matter what he said, he ended up putting his foot in his mouth. Hey Padma, I heard you had a sister in Gryffindor. He picked what he figured was a safe topic. Failing at saying the name, Parvati, Padma enunciated, giving him a glare. Tony snickered and earned one himself. Right, sorry. So what's up with that? I thought siblings were usually sorted into the same house. I'm nothing like my sister, she said vehemently. Harry slumped back in his seat. Sorry. He apologized again. If we're not going to work, I'm leaving. Padma got up and stormed off. Harry watched her retreating back and wondered what he had done wrong. Girls were difficult. How did harem protagonists manage it? I met Parvati on the train, Sue said, startling him out of his reverie. She wasn't very interested in studying. Harry took some time to process that statement. So Padma was the serious type while her sister was an airhead. I think I understand now, he said. Potter, a word? Harry sighed and turned, the other pupils stepping around him to leave. Yes, Professor? Professor Quirrell was one of his least favorite teachers. Not only was the man afraid of his own shadow, the smell of garlic pervading his classroom invariably gave Harry splitting headaches. He'd even gone to the school nurses to see if he had an allergy, but she seemed to think that he was trying to skeeve off. I heard you started a study club. The turbaned professor gave him a wan smile. Interested in learning new magics? I could teach you some defense spells. Harry's eyebrows rose. Thanks, sir, but why me? Quirrell chuckled. Many educators would kill to be able to say that they mentored the boy who lived. Harry nodded slowly. All right. And thus ends Weeb Chapter 2 of Fanfiction Mock Theater 9000. Thank you for joining us today. And be sure to come back at a later date specifically on Tuesdays and Fridays, to join us for new fictions, old fictions, and the good old contempt and mocking that you've probably observed from us so far, as well as the rants, raves, and general off-topic talkings that we tend to go on. Starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, every Tuesday and Friday. We also have a YouTube channel where we don't post gameplay anymore, and we're going to be trying and posting anime theater as well. We'll see how that goes, and I'd like to hear your opinions on it. Once again, thanks for joining us, and see you Friday.